Hi, this is Ginger from My Sister Scrapper. Today I want to share a project with you that I created using the Graphic 45 Absolutely Gorgeous Princess collection. For my project I used the 12 by 12 collection that comes with the stickers, and I also used the chipboard elements, I used the ephemera cards, and I used the patterns and solids. So, for my project, this is the new monthly challenge for Graphic 45, and it's probably one of my favorite challenges, hashtag G45 albums. Yay, we get to make an album. So, here's what I created. I love this paper. Oh, I love this paper. So my mini album does measure 5.5 by 7.5. On the front cover, I layered up some of the design papers. Again, I used the patterns and solids, the ephemera cards, and the 12 by 12. These are some flowers I had in my stash, and I made a little stick pin with some pearls. And then some pretty little heart glitter bling I had in my stash. Here's one of the chipboard elements. I added another little bling right here. Another chipboard piece. I did ink around all my edges with Vintage Photo Distress ink. I used a little punch and punched out a little scallop circle here. I popped this up on some chipboard. And then on the spine, I have these fabulous, these are called Bohemian Jewels. And I had those in my stash with this cute little crown charm that matches the collection perfectly. I just attached it with a jump green fastener. These are two prints from the patterns and solids, the gold. And then I used the beautiful floral print on the back. Another chipboard element, and I just put a piece of ivory colored cardstock so I could write the date or whatever in there. And then again, two little brads that I had in my stash that I thought matched the collection really, really well. So you open it up. I did make my spine a little bigger, and you'll see why when I open it up and show you. I'll explain that to you here. So you open it up, and on the inside front cover, I used one of the square ivory Staples tags and put it right here. And then I used a bunch of dies. I used some scallop and stitched rectangles from my stash right here for that little scallop piece. And obviously I used the amazing Graphic 45 square tag die for the layer for my tag. Love these. If you don't have these dies, you need to get them. I mean, seriously, they're like the best. So this is a little strip of the paper here, and I just glued it down the side so you can slip your little photo right in there. And then I have some May Arts trim at the top. There's a magnet closure here. So you open it up. And over here there's a place for a photo as well. And then here's a cute little hidden waterfall using the 3x4 ephemera cards. And then they're just ivory on the back, but I did add a strip of the paper here. So it starts out as once upon a time. It's a little story. Once upon a time, if the crown fits, you can become a princess. That's my story when I'm sticking to it. And a cute little journal spot right there. Again, a strip of the border paper right there. And that just magnet closes. So I have 5 pages in here, and there are 2 different page styles. And at the end of the video, I'll show you how I created the pages, and I'll give you the measurements for the covers and the measurements for the hinge mechanism that I used as well. Plus I cut a little stamp here. I have some more of those little glitter heart bling right there. Another one of the journal cards right here, 3x4, and I inked both sides of them because they're just beautiful. Oh, they're so pretty. This one says Princess. And these hold the flap down, so this flips up, and you can put a photo here, and you can tuck photos in here as well. Again, some more design paper from the 12 by 12 and the patterns and solids. And then each one of them is going to have a side pull-out, and these are booklets, and I think they're 5 by 7. No, they're 5 1/4. 5 1/4 by 7. And again, they're plain on the inside, so you can put 2 large photos here. You can put a large photo here in journal, or you can put 2 photos, you know, whatever you want to do. And then again, there's one of the patterns and solids on the back, and one of the design papers from the collection pack are on the front. And I did round all the corners as well. So that goes back in there. And then you flip it over. And then I have a photo mat here that I used to die. It's actually from Lawn Fawn. It's a little cross-stitch rectangle die. And I made a little belly band and stuck another cute little journal card in there as well. So that's the first page style. On the second page style, it's similar. I have a cute little 3x4 card here with a text spot to hold the flap down. I added a chipboard element, and I did leave it open so you can slide something under there if you wanted to add a photo. And you flip it up like this, and then there's 2 little spaces right here that flip out. So you could put a cute little picture here, or you could put a photo here, and you could journal here. How cute is that? So that folds down, and then this little journal card holds that flap closed. So I tried to not use any magnets except for my waterfall. That's the only place I use magnets. So here's the booklet for this one. This one's got the bright pink on the back. I love this collection. My sister just had a new grandbaby, a little girl. So I'm thinking her pictures would look pretty stinking adorable in here. Again, another 3x4 journal card, another little belly band, and then photo mat right there. Over here, some more cute little bling. I fussy cut the stamp out and layered it on some pink because I wanted the pink against the gold. And then another journal card. Pretty as a princess. So cute. And then again, this flips up. Place for a photo here and a photo here, if you want. Or you could use just the photo mats inside here as well. Again, design paper, patterns and solids, and they're blank on the inside for your pictures. And then over here, again, another photo mat, another belly band, cute little journal card. I love the journal cards. Love them, love them, love them. And then here says, live the life you imagined. Nice little quote. Again, another journal card to keep this flap down. And then if the crown fits, I left that open as well. Added a large pearl to the center of that cute little chipboard piece. And then this flips out like this. Cute little doily right there. And that doily die actually is one I got from, I think, Michael's. Yeah, Michael's. So this just holds closed right here, and then here is the insert for this one. I love this floral print. I love this whole collection. But I say that about all their collections, but I really like this one. It's just gorgeous. And then over here, again, another cute little belly band, photo mat, and then this is one of the larger ephemera cards that I just folded in half. The cute little castle. So pretty. Again, another cute little stamp I fussy cut out. Some more cute little heart bling, one of the cute journal cards, Once Upon a Time, and then this flips up. Love the crown paper too. Oh, so pretty. And then here is the cute little princesses on this one. It's gold on the back. And over here on the last page, I have another photo mat here, and this is another chipboard element that I punched out a little circle here out of the solid gold and added it right here. And on the back inside cover, it is a mirror image of the front inside cover, so except it opens out this way. So again, we have a magnet closure, some pretty ribbon. This is open, and you can put a cute little 3x3 photo right there. And then a waterfall. Once upon a time, if the crown would fit, you would become a princess. I love it. So there you go. That's my mini album that I created for the hashtag G45 album monthly challenge. So now I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on how I created both different styles of pages in my book. So you can make one too. And in the description box, I will give you the measurements for the chipboard covers and the spine and the hinge mechanism. So to create the pages, you're going to need some adhesive. I'm going to use score tape because I like it. A pair of scissors. You're going to need a corner rounder if you wish to round the corners. It's not necessary, but you can. A ruler, a bone folder, your scoreboard, your solid cardstock. I used ivory, but for the tutorial, I'm going to show craft because I think it shows it better on film. And your scoreboard. So here we go. For every page, you're going to need a piece, page style 1. We'll just do page style 1 first, which is the one that has the pocket in the front and then the flap, okay? And then all the pages will have the side, but it's going to have the pocket in the front and then the flap on the top, okay? So this is page 1. You need a piece that measures 5 1/4 by 12, and you're going to put it in your scoreboard with the 12 inches across the top, and you're going to score at 7 1/4, okay? So that's all we're going to do, score for that piece. And then to make the pocket that goes on the front of that page, you need a piece that measures 2 3/4 by 6 1/4. And for this one, we're going to make a pocket, so we're going to score at 1/2 inch on both short sides and one long one. So put it with the 6 1/4 across the top and score at 1/2 inch. Rotate it, score at 1/2 inch. Rotate it one more time and score at 1/2 inch. So again, we've scored 1/2 inch on both short sides and one long side to create a pocket. Okay, and then to make the back of our page, you're going to need a piece that measures 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. So we've got 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. And on the 8 1/4 side, right here, we're going to score at 1/2 inch on both ends. So we're going to score our 1/2 inch here. We're going to flip it all the way around and score at 1/2 inch here. Okay. So that's for page style 1. For page style 2, which is the one that has the little flap here, and then the little flaps that go out like this. Okay, that's this page style 2. And again, they're all going to have a side opening. So for page style 2, you're going to need a piece, again, that measures 5 1/4 by 12. Same scoring. You're going to stick it in there with your 12 inches across the top. And we're going to score at 7 1/4. And then you're going to need for the back of for the flaps, the little flaps that go on the little tiny ones, you're going to need 2 pieces, and they're going to measure 3 inches by 4 1/4. So you need 2 of those. You're going to put it in with the 3 inches that's across the top, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay. You're going to do that to both pieces. So again, we got the 3 inches across the top, and we're scoring at 1/2 inch. So you need 2 of those. Then for the back of your page, you need the same piece. That's going to be 5 1/4 by 8 1/4, 8 1/4 across the top, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Flip it around and score at 1/2 inch. Okay. Now in my book, I made 5 pages total, so I did 2 pages that were page 2, and I did 3 pages that were page 1. But you can mix and match it, you know, however you want. So we're done with our scoreboard. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get page 1 first, which is the big piece here. We've got 5 1/4 by 12. We're just going to go ahead and fold on our score line. And we're going to round these 2 corners of the flap. Again, rounding your corners is an option. I just think it kind of makes it look kind of cute. So that's going to go like that. And then we've got our little pocket that's going to go on the front. And again, that measures 2 3/4 by 6 1/4. So we're going to fold on our score lines. Here's a little tip for you. When you're scoring and when you've scored your 1/2 inch tabs and you need to fold them over and burnish them, when you fold them over, instead of burnishing on the top of this, flip it over and put that 1/2 inch piece on the bottom. You get a much straighter score line and burnishing fold. Especially if you got like a 1/4 inch. It just, trust me, I know, because it's nothing worse than when you go to fold it and it gets wonky. So if you always fold it to the back and burnish it on the top, so this 1/2 inch is on the bottom of the table, it works. So then we're going to go ahead and burnish this. This is our back piece, which is 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. So again, we're going to fold on our score lines and burnish it. Okay, now we're going to add our adhesive and put our page together. So this is page 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece that I folded, and I've scored and folded my 1/2 inch tabs. Now you can either flip them over and add your tape here, or you can just open them up and add your tape here. And I'm going to just do it that way. I've got 3/8 inch score tape. I like to put my tape on first and then trim my edge and miter my corners, just because that way I know I get adhesive on all of the corners. And you can use whatever adhesive you prefer. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to trim those little corners. So I'm going to take my scissors, put my scissors right at that little score line, and just take a little sliver off. I'm going to do that to both of these little 1/2 inch tabs. And that's just so when you go to put your page together, there's nothing sticking out. Now we're going to do the same thing to our pocket. We're going to open up our tabs. we're going to put our tape on. You don't have to go all the way to the end because we're going to take those corners out. Okay, again, the key to any double-sided tape. And I have a lot of people, I had a question on one of my videos that kind of threw me for a loop. Somebody asked me what kind of score tape I use. I use Score Tape brand. I know there's lots of double-sided adhesives out there. This is the kind that I use, and it's actually distributed by Score Pal, and it's called Score Tape. Okay, just to clear up any confusion out there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over, or we're going to take these corners out. What I like to do when I'm doing this is I like to just cut right where those score lines intersect, and just take an angle right just like this. And we want to take that bulk out, so that way when you fold these in, look at that, perfect. Now you can trim these if you want. It's not necessary because our design paper is going to cover those up. So now let's go ahead and put our page together. Okay, so we have the front of our page with our little flap, and we're going to add the back first. So the way I like to do this is I'm going to take this, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to just burnish these really, really well. Okay. And flip this over so the flap is facing down. I like to line up my page just like this so the edges are even, then just fold it over and stick it down. Okay. So I like to do one edge at a time. I'm going to do the top first. And maybe I can get my tape off. There we go. Okay. And we're going to line it up like this. Fold it over, stick it down. Okay, and this just is gonna take the backing off of this one. Flip it over, and it should line right up, just like that. Okay, so there's the front of our page. This is our opening for our side photo mat, and then this is the edge it's going to fit on our hinge. Okay, so now we're going to add our pocket. So we've got this piece, we've trimmed our corners, we're going to go ahead and take the backing off. And I'm just going to line that right up along the bottom. And stick it down. So now we have it like this, so when you stick your little cute little ephemera card, it'll keep your flap down. Now you can always add a magnet if you want. I was just trying to, some people have a hard time finding magnets, so I was just trying to eliminate the usage of magnets. So that's page style 1. Now let's go ahead and put together page style number 2. So again, the same 2 pieces to make the base page, which is the 5 1/4 by 12 and the 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. We're going to fold on our score lines. I'm going to round the corners of my flap. I like this little corner rounder. I got it on Amazon because it's got 3 different sizes and they nest really, really well together. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and take the back piece and fold on those score lines again. We're going to burnish from the top. And we're going to fold these little tabs back on our little inside flap pieces. And we're going to round the 2 outer corners of this little flap as well. So here's my fold. One's going to go on one side and one's going to go on the other. So it's going to open like a gatefold. So we're going to round these outside 2 corners. Okay. Now we're going to add our adhesive. So I'm going to open my flaps back up. And on a 1/2 inch tab, again, I like to use 3/8 inch score tape. You can use 2 1/4 inch ones, or you could use 1 1/4 inch one. Whatever works, ladies, people, gentlemen. whomever's watching. All right. Okay, that's it for the tape. I'm going to burnish my tape. I'm going to trim my corners because this is the back and I want to make sure nothing sticks out in case I get a little wonky. Same with these. I'll burnish that. And I'm going to trim these down as well too. Again, it's not really necessary to trim these because we are going to put design paper on there, but sometimes it's just a habit. Okay, so now let's put our page together. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put the back onto our page. So we've got our flap here. We're going to flip it over so the flap is face down. We've got this with the tabs facing up. We're going to line them up like this. Take the backing off, stick it down. Okay, take the backing off of this one and fold it over. Stick it down. Easy peasy. Okay, so we're going to turn our page over. So again, we have our little opening right here. This is for our photo mat, and this edge is going to be sitting on our hinge. So now we're going to take this flap, flip it up, and we're going to add our two little outside pieces. Okay. Now the way I put them on is they should fit right. So you have about 1/8 of an inch border at the bottom of your score mark, and they should fit right at the top there, right before your rounded corner. So if you don't round your corners, it's no big deal. You can just center them if you want. So I'm going to take the backing off of one side first. And I'm going to turn it this way so it's easier for me to see. And I'm going to try not to get my head in the camera. Well, I'll do this side first because it's closest. So right along the edge and give myself about 1/8 of an inch. And again, I'm just eyeballing it. You can measure it and mark it, but that's not how I roll, people. Okay, so there's the first one. It's going to open up just like that. Now we're going to add the one on the other side. So again, I'm going to take my backing off, flip it around and do the same thing. I'm going to fold this down so I can kind of try to get them semi-even. Put it right on the edge. Stick it down. Now they don't quite meet, but I didn't want them to get stuck, so that's why I have space. If you want them, you can make them a little bit closer, but that's how I did it. So then, in order to keep this flap down, what I did is I just made a little tuck spot. Again, you could do two magnets here if you wanted, or you could even do a really super cute little paper clip it right here if you didn't want to do magnets. So there's all kinds of options for you. So there you go, everybody. That's how I created the two different page styles in my Graphic 45 #G45 album using the beautiful Princess collection. There you have it. Thanks for watching. Bye.